Good morning, guys and gals. This is your host, Joe of Life with Yosef. Thank you for coming by another day of the Northern Nevada July 23 extravaganza. It's about 7:40 in the morning. It is the 26th of July of 2023. I'm driving too fast here, hold on. I am in Carson City, Nevada. Yeah, I woke up about 6:30. I got the sleep late. It took a while to get my yesterday's vlog up and posted. I have internet issues, but we'll talk about that later. I'm driving to the Red Hut right now. Damn it, this sign, I'm driving to the Red Hut. I'm gonna have breakfast. I ended up eating all the barbecue last night that I brought back. It didn't last long. So I have a 1 o'clock today in Virginia City. So I'm waiting. I'm going to get confirmation later this morning. I'm going to probably come back. I'm going to fill up my cups and I'm going to come back to the room and lie down. So we're going to go to breakfast. And then I'll talk about Virginia City and my 1 o'clock when I get there. So we'll see what's next. Here we go. You've seen the Red Hut last year. We're gonna come in again. I'll talk about it when I'm inside. Ham and cheese omelet, hash browns, toast, coffee, water, morning meds. Looks like we're good to go. Here's a quick shot of the inside of the hut as I'm walking out. My breakfast.
I got one of those at home.
I ordered a double hash browns. I asked them to put it on the same plate, and I'm not going to do that again. One, I don't think I can eat that much anymore for breakfast. And two, my server, but by God, she was slow with the coffee. She looked at the hash browns and said, "No, that's not 2 orders." And she took a little bit off the bill. So I was pretty happy about that. I made sure to tip her. We had the tip conversation yesterday at dinner at Red's, and it was real interesting. The people I was with, my family, they're not anti-tip, but by God, we talked about everybody seems to have a tip jar now. Well, there's a whole bunch of philosophy behind that. But let me just say, I tip my server, I tip my bartender when I'm in a bar, which I never am. And I tip the delivery people when they bring me pizza and Chinese. So I don't know what to tell you. So I'm just gonna probably head back. I'm really starting to fade. I'm not sure why, I'm just exhausted, but we'll see. Coffee hasn't worked yet, but breakfast was good. I love Red Hut. And we'll see what's next. I'm gonna probably lie down, so we'll see what's next. Hey guys and gals, it's about 15 to 12. Still on the 26th. I gotta look at the date every time, I'm an idiot. Still the 26th of July of 2023. And I'm heading out to Virginia City right now, a little early. And now I'm going to tell you why. I didn't want to spill the beans until I knew this was going to happen. For sure, you never know. I wake up and I'm sick and I cancel everything. But I've mentioned the guy on YouTube that I watch named John Wise. His channel is Travels with a Wiseguy, which I think is a cool name for a channel. John is a track coach for the Wichita State Shockers in Wichita, Kansas. His channel, he's got like 3,000 or 4,000 subs, is history focused. He drives out to places, abandoned or ghost towns. He talks to people, he tells good stories. He's got great presentation and does a good job. And I watch his content. He actually watches mine. he's made positive comments on my channel. So in a long story short, he posted on his blog that he was going to come at US 50 this summer, and I emailed him and said, you know, I'm not a stalker, but you know, if we could meet for coffee or something, that would be awesome. You know, I had wanted to get out of the house anyway for a number of reasons. I wanted to see my brother's house like we did yesterday. My wife and I want to kind of test run how we best manage her needs when I'm not there. And so far it's gone extremely well, according to my wife. And she's not one to tell me what I want to hear. She tells me the truth, which I admire her for. So, John has texted me this morning, and we're going to meet in Virginia City, and that's why I'm going. I left a little early. We were going to meet at 1. I'll probably get up there about 12:30. I don't know. We'll see when we get there what he has in mind. I emailed him a bunch of ideas, but bluntly, I told him, you know, dude, it's your trip, and here's some ideas, but, you know, you tell me. So, I'm looking forward to it. I met blogging was a big deal. I met a couple of bloggers that I still have contact with. 3 that I can think of, but I'm sure there's more, and I've got brain fuzz, but I've met really nice people, and there we go. I don't anticipate this being any different. So you can see I'm driving through Carson City. I'm heading east on US 50. You'll probably see a little road footage, and I'll check back in Virginia City. Well, you saw the road footage. I'm sitting down on a bench on C Street in Virginia City, Story County, Nevada. Here's the Red Dog, which I probably have been in. I've been in all these places over my lifetime. I've been coming up here probably since my mid-20s, almost 40 years. I brought all 3 of the women that I've married. I brought a bunch of friends. I brought myself. So Yeah, this is pretty again. So I've texted John. I just heard the beeper, and we'll see what's next. Here's the inside of the bucket of blood, but I'm going to introduce you to my friend John and him to me here in just a second. This is my friend John Wise. I talked about John. I linked to John's content. God love John. He has graciously agreed to meet me up here. I'm really stoked. We sat in the bucket of blood. We had a couple of sodas. We talked a bit. He's really a nice guy. You know, I'm so happy that, you know, you meet a guy and he turns out to be salt of the earth and good people. So we talked a bit about YouTube. I'll talk more about what we talked about on the way home, but you know, being a track coach, how you get into that stuff. But here's my friend John, and we're gonna wander around Virginia City and touch, except for these guys. And we'll see what's next. Well, John and I walked up the block a little bit. We sat down because I'm old and I'm running out of steam, and we chit-chatted. Of course, I talk his ear off and I ramble. You guys who watch my stuff know I endlessly ramble, and I usually repeat myself 8 or 10 times.
He's a good storyteller.
You know, you can't get that Peterson out of me. Anyway, we're gonna walk down to the Delta, and we're gonna go in the Delta and we're gonna film the suicide table, and I'm gonna talk again about my wife and I, you first, my wife and I coming to the Delta to play bingo so often that they thought we were regulars or locals. So we'll be at the Delta here in a minute. We're out in front of the Delta and they're closed, which I remember reading something about this, but I'm not sure. So I'm gonna have to do some investigative work to be able to tell you why the Delta's closed. But I'm gonna put my camera in here, and of course you see nothing but reflection. There you go, dude, you're winning an Oscar for this. So hell, I don't know what else. John was already here, ran a bunch of film. I'm starting to run out of steam, so I think we're gonna wrap this up fairly short. He's got a long, full day in front of him still. He's heading to South Lake Tahoe. It's not a direct drive, and you don't get to drive 80 or 80 miles an hour or Interstate 80 for that matter. So I think we're gonna walk down a little bit and we're gonna part ways.
Sure.
He's nodding his head yes. God love him.
I appreciate you visiting with me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I'm just so stoked that you fit me into your day. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm in the way. So we're going to walk a little more. We're going to say our goodbyes, and I think we're going to be done here shortly. Well, after sitting and chit-chatting some more with my friend John, we're going to part ways here. I am so glad that John fit me into his schedule. We had such a good visit. He's such a good guy. He's salt of the earth, and he's good people. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about John on the way back to Carson City. So thank you, John.
Thank you, man.
It was
Appreciate
an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to meet you. God love you for this.
Enjoy the rest of your trip.
So enjoy the rest of your trip. So in and out, Placerville. Exit 44B.
I've been eating healthy the whole trip. I'm going to waste it on that.
There you go.
On that meal.
So I'm going to talk more on the way back, and we'll see what's next. Well, I'm back in the car. I'm really glad to meet John. What a great guy. Salt of the earth, personable. We chatted about monetization. We chatted about a bunch of stuff. Just an absolute great guy. I'm so glad to have met him. Thanks again, John. I'm going to interrupt here, and I'm going to talk about the Delta. I'm going to spice this in. Now you see I'm in the car, so let's go this way. Oh, dude, there we go. I was going to go down 6 Mile Canyon, but I think I'm just going to head back. Anyway, the Delta has the suicide table. It's closed, and they used to play a lot of Faro. F-A-R-O, back in the Wild West days. Go ahead. And in the mining days, and Faro fell out of favor because the House bluntly wasn't taking enough of a cut of the action. So at the Delta, the suicide table had at least three different people, to my recollection, unalive themselves after losing on the Faro table, literally right on the table. I got to be careful. I don't want the YouTube censorship nanny to come on. These are some pretty tough streets right here to pull out of, with the hill and stuff. So now I've talked about this in the past, but they used to have Wednesday night bingo for like $2. And my wife and I, and this is a Marine now, the first time we were married, we had Tuesday night and Wednesday night off. So we would drive up here Tuesday after work. We'd get a hotel in Carson. We'd rest, we'd eat, and then we'd come up and we'd play $2 bingo. I mean, yeah, you're thinking, you spent, gas and hotel and food to play $2 bingo, but sure we did. Oh, here's a nice board right here. Hope you can see it. I gotta be careful I don't hit anybody. And we were coming up here often enough to where one of the times we bought in, the guy at the cage said, "Are you local?" There we go. Jesus, dude, point right. "Are you locals?" We just laughed and said, "No, we just like to come up here." And that was a long time ago. But I've had a lot of good times up here in Virginia City. It's a sad, I think COVID really hurt this town and the county. There's hardly any mining left. I think there's one big mine left at the north end of town. And, when COVID came and pretty much decimated tourism, I think some of these places are starting to struggle. Now, if I'll look up what happened to the Delta, if I think about it specifically, I remember reading about it. I'm not sure. I may splice it in here. We'll see. So I'm heading back right now, and, oh, excuse me. I'm going to shut the camera off. I'm going to take a drink. And I'll talk about John Wise. Hold on a second. John is a track coach. He coaches hurdles and sprints, I believe, at Wichita State. They're the Shockers. A shocker is a bundle of wheat, of cut wheat, I believe, like similar to a bale of hay type deal, but vague enough. John ran a Division I track for Kent State in Ohio. He's from Ohio. He got into coaching, and when his coach at Kent State moved to Wichita State, eventually he brought John with him. And John's been there for, I think, 7 or 8 years now. Seems to like it. It certainly allows him time to travel. It's good to see people doing what they're passionate about. God love my wife. She was a 911 dispatcher, and she said, it was a job. A lot of times at the paper, I like going to work because, I can't believe we got paid for this. But nevertheless, John is coming out US 50. He's driving to Lake Tahoe today, South Lake Tahoe. He's going to go to Markleeville tomorrow, which, if you watch my stuff, I've been to Markleeville. It's the county seat of Alpine County, which is the least populated county in California. He's been starting to make some footage about smallest towns, smallest counties. He went to Loving County, Texas earlier, I think this year or last, and I had to tell him in 2014, Loving County is the smallest populated county in the country, excluding the county in Hawaii where the leprosy people are. Hanson's, I think it's called, Hanson's disease. Anyway, I told John in 2014, I drug Marie out to Mentone in Loving County just because it was the smallest least populated county in the country. I was about maybe, oh, come on, damn it. This is why you watch your speed. 70 or 80 people, there were 90 something there, 92 in 2014, so, God, I thought we hit it off. He's a great guy. We talked about YouTube and monetization and a little bit of our histories, and, you know, I babble and ramble on forever, and God love him, he humored me. God love you, John, thank you for that. So, well worth the time and such to come up here. Awesome experience, very happy. I'm driving back to Carson City now. I'm going to stop and get a little something to eat, and I'm going to go sit in the hotel. I pretty much had my day, I pretty much had a full day. I think I talked about tomorrow. Geez, I'm going to have to look at the film. So, I think I'm going to end it now. Thank you for watching another travel vlog. This is your host, Joe, on Life with Yosef. For the Northern Nevada July 23 extravaganza. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your day. Peace be with you. And we'll see you for tomorrow when we go to Dayton, Yerington, and then Hawthorne. Actually, it's not it. I forgot to talk about the monetization, and John was very free with telling me how it works. Pretty much, you need at least 1,000 subscribers. He says he gets about 0.7 of a cent for every view. If you have a video over 8 minutes, you could add an independent commercial in to your over 8-minute vlog in the middle somewhere. You could also put it at the front, which he says he does, in the front but not in the middle. I pay for YouTube Premium, so I don't see any ads. You do have guys have sponsors, and the hosts themselves will talk about the sponsor of the video. John doesn't do that. I certainly don't have any sponsors, but I wanted to add that in. I lost sight of that, and I wanted to add the YouTube monetization, and he said that on one of his best of videos, I think it was the Mentone one, he got $2,500, which, you know, paying for the trip. So, you know, 0.7 of a cent. So if you get 100 viewers, you get 7 cents. He's not doing it for the money, but, you know, being monetized isn't exactly hurting. So it's just good stuff to know. So now, this is the end. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your day. Peace be with you. And we'll see you for tomorrow's.